Hello, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for Chair for the allowing me to present. And I like to welcome all of you to my presentation, which is the title is the challenges and viability of using blockchain for the WSN security, wireless sensor network security. Yeah. Uh, my name is Thirein, and we have another two authors. So I like to present on behalf of all the authors for today at CCNet 2022. And because of the constraint, the pandemic, and because of the constraints, so we have to do it online presentation. Sorry about that. So we all are from the Military Technological College, Oman. So I will start with the outline, so the contents of my presentation. I will start with the introduction, and then I will talk about what are the characteristics of the WSN, what is the architectures of WSN, what is a blockchain structure, and I do some discussion, and I will conclude the presentation. Okay. As we all know, the wireless sensor networks, WSNs, are becoming like a part of our life. You can see in every application, or it is involved in so many applications. Especially we can see in environmental monitoring of the weather condition, the earthquake, or the rains, the prediction, okay, and also used in volcano detection. We also can see in distributed control systems, and we also can see in agriculture and farm management, and the detection of the dangerous the material or sources. And we also can see the computing platform of tomorrow's internet, okay, for the future internet, like a Web3, okay. So this kind of what WSN can see in so many applications of our life, okay. But as we know, in all the communication network, we have a problem of the security, the issues, okay, especially in the WSN, because we have an open nature and it's using the wireless, not the cable. So it has a great concern for the security of the network, okay, because people can hack the sensors and also can inject the fabricated messages in the network, so it can give the problem to the output or outcome of the network, okay. And because of the WSN, because we are using a wireless sensors, so we have to use the small sensors, okay. So we are restricted by the resources in terms of the physical sizes and in terms of the computing powers. So we have a constraint in the battery, we have a constraint in the computing powers, okay. So these kind of things is present in the WSN network. So as you can see, this one is how the WSN network looks like, okay. So we have all the sensors networks are here, and we'll have the sinker. Sinker means is the main node. All the sensors will be connected to the sinker, and then sinker will connect it with the base station, okay. And the base station will connect with the satellite and internet, and will get to the user, okay. So so we can see that the base station, okay, normally in the typical WSN network, base station, we have a powerful node, okay. The base station is a powerful node, okay. So we can be connected to a satellite or internet, and the base station is more the computing power, okay. So it has a huge computing power and huge battery resources, okay. But it will be different if we are using the blockchain, okay. Blockchain, because blockchain is a distributed network, so we will not have a centralized server or centralized station, okay. And you can see that because of the open nature, okay, and wireless medium, okay, so we will have a lot of the security issues, okay. So to counter that, okay, in the WSN system, they are using the different kind of the encrypting mechanism, okay, like they are encrypting the message, they are decrypting the message. So and then different kind of the security measures also used to prevent from the attack from the outside. Okay, but sometimes these methods are still not enough, not efficient and not effective. Okay, so the researchers or the studies are carrying out how to improve the security of the wireless sensor network. So more susceptible to the security attack compared to the traditional wire network, because we are using the wireless network. Okay. So what is a blockchain? Blockchain is a method that lets the transmission of the data securely based on the incredible complex encrypting mechanism. Okay. So a blockchain is very difficult to hack. Okay. Almost impossible to hack. Okay. So, and it can also do the private or public network. So it can transmit the message, okay? And then the network by itself can check whether this is a valid node or valid sensor. If it is not valid, it can be cut out from the network, okay? Each block stores a record about the time and the hash code of the previous block and transaction information. So in each block, it will be save all the messages, all the transaction, and also it will save the record or the code of the previous block. So, and it will have the hash code of for the individual block. Okay, so it is very difficult to hack and is very difficult to attack from the outside. Okay, and then all the blocks are chained together. That's why we call the blockchain. Okay, so blockchain is designed to resist fraud and alteration of the facts. It is almost impossible to hack the blockchain. What are the advantages of the WSN using the blockchain? Okay, so distributed nature of the blockchain will allow the large number of sensor node connection easily. Okay, in the nature of the itself blockchain is a distributed, okay, not centralized. Okay, so it will allow to use the large number of the sensors. Computing and storage needs are distributed to all devices in the network. It will all the computations are not done by the central base station. It will be done by the sensors itself in all the nodes. Okay, centralized server and client mode will be eliminated. Okay, we will not have the centralized system anymore. Okay, and because of this, the advantages of the blockchain, that's why we have the interest in using the blockchain in the WSN network. Okay, so in this study, we'll be focusing on the investigating what is it the blockchain will be possible to use in the WSN network, and what are the major challenges, okay, if we use the blockchain in the WSN network. And before we look into how the blockchain can be used in the WSN, first we will look at what are the characteristics of the WSN, whether this blockchain can tackle or can fulfill the characteristics or the requirement of the WSN. Okay. What significant characteristics are? There are 12 actually. So the first one is a low cost. Okay, because WSN we have to use so many sensors. Okay, so the cost is very important. Okay, it has to be low cost. Okay, energy efficient. Okay, we have to use a small physical sensors. Okay, so energy efficient is very important. Okay, because if the sensor node has run out of the power, okay, that sensor node we cannot use anymore. Okay, this will be removed from the sensor network. Okay, so energy efficient for the sensors or the node is very important. And computational power. Okay, the WSN sensors, because of I said it's small, the computation power is very limited. Okay, we cannot do a lot of computation in the sensor node. Communication capabilities, hardware and software has a robustness, because sometimes it depends on the application. Sometimes we have to use in robust environment or the rough terrain. Okay, so it has to be the proof of the hardware or software, it has to be, can use this use for any the difficult situation or difficult environments. As we know that security and privacy, this is very important. Okay, so it should have a sufficient security mechanism, okay, to prevent from the attack from outside. Distributed sensing and processing, okay. It can collect, each node of the sensor can collect, sort, process, aggregate, and send the data to the sink, or other way down, receive from the other sensor node or from the base station. So it is transmitting and receiving. It will work for the both ways. Dynamic network topology. What this means is sometimes the sensor will be out of the battery. Okay, so it will be out. So the sensor network should be aligned itself, okay, to remove that sensor and then still working with the existing network. Sometimes it can be out one sensor or two sensor, but the sensor network should be still working. Okay, so it has to be self reconfigured, okay, and self adjustment for the any sensor node cutting out, or if there's a hack in the sensor, it has to get rid of that sensor node. Okay, so it has to be self reconfigured of the whatever existing the network. And self-organization, okay, same like it has to be self-organized, okay, any hostile environment or any function in the intended environment, because sometimes the environment can be changed. Multi-hop communication, okay. Sometimes because of using the radio frequency, sometimes it cannot reach to the main station or another network, another node, so it has to use the hop route. It means it has to use the intermediate node, okay, if it is there, cannot reach to another node. And application oriented, so it is a different, depends on the application use, the nodes or the sensors, how it is deployed, okay, it will be depend on the application of the use, maybe whether it is using in the very rough terrain or it is using in the very cold temperature or very hot temperature. Okay, depends on the application. It will be it will be changed. That's why it is saying application oriented. And robust operation. Okay, must be fault and error tolerant. Okay, small physical size. We know that I already said before. Energy is limited. Okay, so which makes the communication capability low. Okay, because we have so many sensors, so we have to use the small size and we have to use the low cost sensors. This is the architecture of the WSN. Okay, so we have the sensing unit. Okay, so it can mostly it is analog sensors. Okay, what will happen? It will be changed to analog to digital converter to connect with the processor. Okay, and then it will process the message or process the signal or send the information, and then it will be transmit to another node or to the sink. Okay, and also it is saying the transceiver because it can transmit and also it can be receive the information. And we have a power unit which can give the power to the process of the sensor, processor, and transceiver. When you see the layers, how the protocol or stack of the WSN is used, normally the wire network, they are using 7 layers, but in WSN, it is using only 5 layers. Okay, so what are the things? Physical layer is for the address of the hardware detail of the wireless communication mechanism. Okay, so this layer will be responsible for the frequency selection and carrier frequency generation, signal detection, modulation, and data encryption. Okay, and we have a data link layer, and we have a network layer, we have a transport layer, and we have a application layers. Okay, so typically we have the 5 layers in the WSN network. Okay, let's see there how we can whether it is possible to use a blockchain in the the WSN network. So we have to look at what is the blockchain and what is a blockchain structure looks like. Okay, so blockchain allows interesting parties, okay, with common interest to exchange the information without relying on the external entities. Okay, and we will have a no broker or no third party. Okay, so it will be connected to the network by if it is interest. If it is the valid, the block can be, or the node can be added to the blockchain. Okay, so what core characteristics of the blockchain is the decentralization. We don't have any centralized system when we are using the blockchain, and accountability and security. Okay, these are the main characteristics of the blockchain. Okay, so these are the good for the WSN. Okay, but there are some challenges when we are using the blockchain. Okay, blockchain use peer-to-peer network architecture instead of the centralized system, and we have three main parts of the things in the blockchain. One is a block. Okay, each block has an information data. All the transactions will be stored in the block. Okay, and the blocks will be connected together like a chain, so it will become like we call blockchain. Okay, so all the transactions or all the informations are stored in the block. If one block is full, it will continue for another new block. Okay, and each block has a transaction information data. It will have a nonce and it will have a hash, and it will have the information of the previous block. Okay, each node is given a unique number that shows their transaction, and we will have the nodes. So any interested party can add as a node. If it is valid, okay, it can be added to the blockchain. And we call normally this very popular word is a miners. So what are the miners? They use very specific complicated programs or complicated mathematics, okay, to find what is the nonce or and then the hash of the block. If they can find it, that block will be added to the node will be added to the blockchain. Okay, so the miners are solving the hash on the nonce of the block to be verified. So it is very difficult to mine the block, but it is very easy to verify whether this block is correct or not. Okay. So as we know, this is very important. Security provision is one of the main factor in the WSN. Okay. Because why we are thinking the blockchain? Because the blockchain has a very good in data security and management and storage of the WSN. It can be stored in each node instead of using the centralized the base network, base system. Okay, that's why so many the studies are carried out. Okay, how we can use the blockchain in the WSN network. Wynett et al. Propose a blockchain-based multi-sensor technique. Okay, so what his technique they call it? So verify the information data gathered by the sensor. Okay, so it is like the collect the data and then verified in the block. If it is verified, it will be added, and that sensor will be added to the network. And Casado-Vara et al. Propose also stochastic model of blockchain. Okay, the early prediction of the degeneration of the sensor accuracy from the current state of the sensor. And Kwai et al. Propose a hybrid blockchain method model, and his method realized the authentication from different communication scenarios. Okay, so there are also a lot of the studies are carrying out. Okay, but because the blockchain is still in very early stages, okay, and still it's not so popular, and the use of blockchain in the engineering is very limited now. It is very early stages. Okay, so we can find a lot of the constraints in the study. Okay, and also they did not consider the decentralized model of the blockchain in their studies. Okay, so still the studies are going on. Okay, so if you compare if we use without blockchain or with blockchain, what are the benefits we can get from there using a blockchain? Okay, so without blockchain, architecture is centralized with the client-server architecture. Without blockchain, with the blockchain based on the distributed ledger architecture with decentralization, we will not have a centralized system. Okay, power consumption without blockchain will be low but if we use the blockchain, we will have a high power consumption in each node of the sensor. Security without the blockchain will be low, but with the blockchain, the security measures will be high. Device requirement and the limited processing capability is okay for without blockchain, but with blockchain, we will need the high processing capability and with the high storage capacity in each node of the sensor. Implementation is simple without blockchain, but with the blockchain will be a bit difficult, okay? And maintenance will be easy with the blockchain, without blockchain, and it will be difficult with blockchain, okay? So we believe that blockchain technology will bring the new arena of the WSN security, okay? Because it has a decentralized nature, and it can give the better security, okay, by using the blockchain, okay? But we have some shortcomings coming using the blockchain. We will need the high configuration sensors with high processing capability, high storage, and high battery support. Because all the nodes, we don't have the centralized system. So all the computation has to be done in each node, okay? The WSN with the blockchain is difficult to implement and maintain, okay? Now blockchain is in very early stages, okay? So the person or the developer who knows the blockchain is now still in very limited in number, okay? Current sensor nodes do not have the high power and processing time. So that is a problem of shortcoming of using the blockchain, okay? The current sensor nodes are very limited in terms of the computation power and battery. So we'll face a difficulty with the processing and speed and battery power, okay, if we implement with the current or existing sensor nodes. Blockchain requires two-store transaction and device ID, okay, so we will need the higher space and higher computation power. Implementation and maintaining blockchain need highly skilled professionals, okay. As I said, it is skilled professionals and blockchains are still very limited in number, okay. So it will be difficult to implement blockchain in current resource constraint, okay. It can be implemented, but it will be difficult to implement for the higher data usage, like a voice and video data, but it will be okay if we can use for the text data, okay. Because we cannot use the high data yet for the current sensor types, okay? But we believe that we strongly look forward to advancement of the microelectronics. Every day microelectronics is improving, and you can see that there's a name called even Akida, which is very small chips, okay, which can process high computation, okay. So we hope that it's in very near future, the sensors or microelectronics, the chip will come out with a very small size, okay, very energy efficient and can do a lot of the computation power, okay. Microelectronics is evolving very fast, okay. So the blockchains will become the reality for the WSN security very, very soon, okay. So if I conclude my presentation or my study, implementation of the blockchain is challenging task, okay, because the blockchain is still in early stage in implementing the engineering application. So what is the main challenge? Is the requirement of the higher memory and each node in the network, okay? But the evolving advancement of the microelectronic, we are not very far, okay, to get the higher memory and higher computing power in each sensors. Distributed, the nature of blockchain require high memory and hardware in each node. So the current trend of advancement in memory technology will provide high memory capacity with very small size in and very near future. It will come very soon, and it can be do all the high data, the transmission in the WSN. We believe it will become very soon. Distributed and secure architecture blockchain will fulfill the challenges currently facing in WSN network. If we look at from the security perspective, okay, it can solve the problem of the security issues in the WSN network, okay. So in future study, we are now starting our study, okay, to implement the blockchain for WSN security with only the text data transmission, because we cannot use the large data, okay. So we are starting to do with the text data transmission, okay. These are the references we use in our study, okay. So thank you. And